Ha! Hey everyone, Hassan here. Welcome to the world of Ha. Today I got another Power Rangers Ninja Steel review for you. These are the brand new armored figures for the Ninja Steel toy line. We have the Armored Red Ranger, the Armored Blue Ranger, and in the middle there, the the Armored Rumble Tusk Zord. There we go. So these figures feature the new Master Mode, the Ninja Master Mode that is in the cockpits for the Zord. So every year, you know, we had the Mega Mode and Super Mega Mode and the, gosh, what is it called? The Dino, is it Dino Drive Armor? Whatever it was for Dino Charge, whatever the name of it was. You guys know, in the cockpits of the Zords, the Rangers have extra armor for whatever reason. So these figures come with the Ranger figure as well as the armor to attach on to the Rangers. So we have the Red and Blue Rangers, but then they've also released the Rumble Tusk Zord on its own. So currently the only way to get the Elephant Zord, the Rumble Tusk Zord, is by getting the Rumble Tusk Megazord, which is the same exact thing as the Ninja Steel Megazord, just repainted, and instead of the Robo Red Zord, you get the Rumble Tusk Zord. So we'll take a look at that, we'll do a comparison, because now we finally have it released separately. So is this a good substitute instead of getting the entire Rumble Tusk Megazord? We'll take a look. So anyways, without further ado, I just want to kind of show you the boxes real quick, and then we'll get into the actual toys. So same Ninja Steel logo, packaging, all that good stuff. Morphin armor, and there's a special power punch feature, so it looks like you can put it on his arm and do a little power punch. So there's that. And then the back of the box says armor and weapons in one, and it shows you how you can attach the armor. The packaging does not mention that this is called Ninja Master Mode in the show, but it is. So, as you can see, very interesting, because as of right now, we only have the Red Blue Rangers and the Rumble Tusk Zord, but it looks like they're going to release a White Ranger, as well as the Robo Red Zord, which actually looks really cool with that armor, and the Dragon Zord as well. So we're going to get some more Rangers and Zords in that line. So that's kind of cool. So I'm glad that they're expanding that line. And then here's the Blue Ranger equivalent. So same features, Power Punch, Morphin armor, and the packaging shows all that good stuff. So we'll take a look. And then the one that I'm most excited about here is this Rumble Tusk Zord. So this one has the Zord right there, and then all the armor. There's a little elephant face there, as you can see. So this one has Morphin armor, but then it says Tornado Twist, so it has a different feature. So that's interesting. And the back of the packaging shows you that as well. Although this says Power Punch. So maybe it has both? I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. So anyways, there's the packaging. So without further ado, let's get these open and take a look. Alright, so I have the armored figures out of the packaging right here, and these guys are actually kind of cool. I dig them. So let's jump to the Rangers first. I'll get to the Rumble Tusk Zord after that, but real quick, I will say the Rumble Tusk Zord, this one is not a substitute for the Rumble Tusk Megazord. If you're wondering if you can just buy this little figure and use it with the Ninja Steel Megazord, the answer is no. So I'll show you all that a little bit later, but instead of having to make you wait, I just wanted to mention that. So we have the Ninja Master Mode, as they call it, but these are the Armored Red and Blue Rangers. So let's take a look at the figures themselves. So, at their core, you have a basic Ninja Steel action figure, and this is the one that comes with the Armored Ranger. And right next to it, I'm going to put the regular 5-inch Ninja Steel Ranger. So immediately, there's a couple things that you will see that are different, and the main difference really is the symbol on the chest there is gold versus it being red. So that is one difference right there. And then the Ninja Power Stars that are on the little belt buckle there are red on the armored figure versus they're just gold on the regular Ranger. Otherwise, paint-wise, they're basically the same, except, you know, this one also has the white stripes on the outlines there. This one doesn't. And then on the back, there's less paint. There's no black stripe going across on the armored figure. But otherwise, the paint is basically the same. So here's one thing that I actually like about the armored figures is the fact that, you know, the 5-inch figures obviously have a lot of articulation. And usually when you get other Ranger figures, like that come with the cycles, and you know, like I have some of these other Ranger figures that I've gotten from other toys, they usually are like extremely lacking in paint, and the articulation sucks. You know, their hands are stuck in a permanent like motorcycle riding position, you know, so those figures usually suck. this figure is actually pretty good. So articulation-wise is very much similar to the 5-inch figure. So the head rotates all the way around. The arm rotates all the way around. This arm doesn't fully, you might be able to, I don't want to break it. There's a little feature that this one has, so I don't know that you're supposed to twist it all the way around, so I don't want to try and break it, but I'll show you guys what I'm referring to in just a second. But they can move, you know, outwards, bend at the elbow as well. The hand rotates, and the red piece actually can turn also. Then the legs, you know, they can kick forward, back a little bit. They can do splits, bend at the knee, and the entire boot rotates as well. So very much similar to the 5-inch figure in terms of articulation, which is fantastic. So I love that. Even though, you know, you have some gold on here, which actually kind of looks neat. It's different from the 5-inch figure, so I don't mind that because it just makes it kind of unique. It's kind of cool. But I'm really happy with the fact that they didn't take away much articulation. So the little feature I was talking about with the arm is the other thing is you can do is you can twist the body. And when you twist the body, this hand like punches forward, basically. So that's that punching action that they were talking about. So that's kind of cool. Because even if, you know, if you have the other 5-inch figure, like I have the other 5-inch red, I can take the Ninja Star blade, and if I want, you know, like, bam, now he's like jabbing somebody with a sword. So I can have the sword down here, right? So maybe he's going up against Ripper Rat right here. And so you just take the sword slashing action, like that right there is really cool. Like you don't even need to give me the armor. Like I'm already liking the power punching feature right there. I think that's really cool. So he does not come with any weapons, unfortunately. It would have been nice because if you watch the show in the Ninja Master mode, they have, I forget what it's called, but they have another sword that's like even like a chainsaw too. That would have been perfect. But my guess is, I don't know for sure, my guess is they're going to release 5-inch figures of the Master mode eventually. They always do. So I'm assuming they're going to save the sword for that. But I think this, on its own, I love that feature. The little punching action, I think, is really cool. So that's that feature. So now when you add in the little piece of armor that you get, here's what it looks like. So it's kind of like a little mini Ninja Star, sort of. But there's that. And essentially, there's two little pegs right here. So this one, you can peg into the side of the arm, like that. So it looks, you know, it's like down like that, kind of hanging. And when you twist the body, he's like punching with the Power Star. So again, that's really cool what you can do. So, you know, if I bring back Ripper Rat right here, you know, he can just, bam, power punch him down and dominoes and knock down the Blue Ranger too. So I like that feature. The only thing is, you know, the more you do it, well, sometimes it will fly off, and then the hand starts to move back a little bit slowly. So then, like, the Power Star is only going down. So you kind of have to, like, start with the hand up a little bit because the force of the Power Star, like, this thing is kind of heavy. So as you swing, do it this way. It's a little hard with the camera on my face. You know, as you swing, you see the hand kind of move down a little bit because this thing is a little heavy. Not a big deal, but just an FYI. Then the other thing that you can do is when you want to turn it into the Master mode, it's actually really simple, which is kind of cool, is you just put the Power Star on like that with the this little design up front, and then you just fold the back, and there's a peg that goes into that hole right there. So just fold the back in and just push it in, so it's in there, and then fold this down, and ta-da! You've now transformed it into Ninja Master mode, which looks really cool. I dig the little armor and stuff. You know, these armors are the type of thing where on the show, it really doesn't make much sense. Their explanation for it just is so lacking, but it looks cool, so I'm fine with it, because then we get these cool toys like this. So I think that looks really cool. I dig it. I like this armor, especially on this toy. It just looks awesome. I just wish he had some other sword or something. I mean, you can, of course, give him the Ninja Star blade, but if he has the that other weapon that he has, like, from the Zord, like, that would just be... Then this toy would just be perfect. So that's the one minor little thing, but not a big deal. It's just, you know, even with a Ninja Star blade, you can see just how epic that looks. But really, really cool. Now, I'm sure you guys have the question of, can this armor fit onto, let's say, the 5-inch figure? Because this one is more, you know, accurate with the red color right there. So I'll show you the answer is kind of. So it will slide over because it's the same scale figure, but there's no hole in the back for the peg to go. So it's on it, but it's like sliding around. So if you're just gonna like stationary display it, you can do that, but you don't even see the red behind there anyways, so you might as well display it with this, you know? But if you're gonna be playing around with it, this thing is gonna slide around, you know, but scale-wise, it fits, right? So technically, you know, if you really wanted to get fancy with it, you could grab in the movie 5-inch figures and like, I mean, come on, like who would have ever thought you'd see that combination right there? But it happened right there. So anyways, so I dig it. I think that's really cool. I like the little the master mode, the punching feature. I mean, just everything about this is really, really cool, and I dig it. So that's the Red Ranger. We're gonna go through the exact same thing with the Blue Ranger. It's all the same features, just obviously for the Blue Ranger. So let's grab that guy right here. So again, they stuck with the gold paint on the Blue Ranger. So for comparison's sake, here's the 5-inch Blue Ranger on the left. So you have the white outlines and then the blue versus this just being gold. And then the power stars are gold on here and they're blue on the armored figure. And then the back does not have the stripe going across. So that's the difference there. Functionality-wise, you know, I'm not going to go through all the articulation again, but it's the same. But I like that gold right there. I think it just looks really cool. So I dig it, definitely. And so again, same functionality here. So I can swing and have them just punch. You know, I can add on the armor right here. And then have them punch with the armor. So that's pretty cool. Or I can then transform to Ninja Master Mode. Oops, what did I do? Make sure it's straight and then push it in. There we go. So that is Ninja Master Mode. It does look a little odd from the top because you have that kind of opening there, but you know, overall it's pretty cool. I like just the ease of the transformation right there. Definitely great. And because of all the cool articulation, you can really, you know, like pose it all sorts of different ways and just looks awesome. So I dig it. I dig it. I wish they would release these armored figures of all 5 Rangers. I know we're going to get the White Ranger. And I'm sure they're probably going to release 5-inch versions of these with the armor just attached already to the body. But I like this transforming one, you know. I think that would be really cool, and I wish they would release that for all the Rangers. I think this is great. All right, so now the Rumble Tusk Zord, right? So this is the one that everybody, I'm sure, wants to know more about because of the fact that you have the Rumble Tusk Zord with you know, sold as a Megazord. So, first, before I even get into this, I want to really quickly sum up the situation with the Megazords, just so people are on the same page. So, Ninja Steel Megazord, right? So we have the Ninja Steel Megazord. All the 5-inch figures are compatible with sitting inside instead of the Robo Red Zord right there. So instead of releasing the Elephant Zord, or as they're calling it, the Rumble Tusk Zord, separate, they decided to release the exact same Megazord again, but colored differently, and instead of the Robo Red Zord, you got the Rumble Tusk Zord right here, okay? So that is what they ended up doing. So then some people are like, what? I have to buy a whole Megazord just to get the Rumble Tusk Zord? And they wanted to buy it separately. So let me show you. I'm going to take out the Rumble Tusk Zord that comes with this guy here. Okay, so let me take that out and move that to the side. Okay, so this is the Rumble Tusk Zord that comes with the Megazord. So this is basically what it looks like. You can attach cannons and other stuff to it, but this is what it is right here, okay? Now this is the Armored Rumble Tusk Zord toy that I just got. So comparisons right here, obviously you can see some major differences. Size being one of them. This one is compatible with the Megazords. This one is not. So if I were to try and sit him into the Megazord, right? So this was the combination everybody wanted. They wanted the Ninja Steel Megazord, and they wanted to buy a separate Rumble Tusk Zord, right? All right, well, I got my separate Rumble Tusk Zord. let's sit them down and do that. It's like it doesn't fit properly. This little piece kind of comes off easy. But you see, it's too big. Like I can't get the entire body to sit in properly. So it just kind of like just hangs out the side like that. So it is not compatible with the Megazords. And that was something that people wanted. So unfortunately, you can't buy this and expect that to be a substitute for the Megazord. So that is a downside. But if you really like the Rumble Tusk Zord, you know, this is the Megazord one, there's like no articulation. The arms are like permanently attached like that. Here, you got a good amount of articulation. The one annoying part is this thing is kind of loose. So it really, like, it just like spin. Like it's so loose that it just pops right off. So that's annoying. But essentially, the head rotates all the way around. The arms rotate all the way around. They go up, bends at the elbow. The hand rotates around as well. The legs can kick forward and back quite a bit, and he bends at the knees. This part does not rotate, but still, you know, a decent amount of articulation. So, you know, I can really, this thing is just annoying. That frustrating. And now it's not even staying in. Like, that's how loose it is right now. Like, I can literally, look, I just literally tilt it. That's terrible. So I'm not happy with that. Maybe that's just mine. Maybe not all of them are that loose, but unfortunately, that's the one that I got. But articulation-wise, you know, if you're just displaying it like that, like, that's really cool that you can really pose it and make it really flexible. So that's a plus. That part is not. So, I just wanted to mention that. Now, this does not transform to the elephant. So the one that comes with the Rumble Tusk Megazord, right? You can, you know, kind of do this little combination and get the legs together. And what happens here? Let's see. This part goes on there. You know, basically, I think I'm missing a piece or something. But essentially, you can come up with an elephant. Yeah, I'm missing a piece. I have to take this off. I'm not going to do the full transformation. But essentially, you can make an elephant, right? You cannot with this. So that is another downside with the armored version. So anyways, with all that out the way, I want to show you what else this thing does. So this is the piece of armor that it comes with, okay? And you also get this two little pieces here, and this small piece just slides on. And this is like a little attachment for the star to make it a weapon. So you basically just slide it in right here, and just kind of push it in, so it connects like so. And you see, this now becomes a weapon for it to hold. And you have this little lever right here, and you just kind of push the lever up and down, and it rotates. So that's that little spinning feature that the box was talking about. Sometimes it spins a little bit, sometimes it goes a lot. It's kind of hit or miss, but you know, it is what it is. So what you can do is you can attach it onto the Rumble Tusk Zord here as a weapon for him to hold. Now, here's another problem with this is, well, first of all, that just annoys me. This thing is so heavy that he doesn't hold it properly. So I can have him hold it, but it just kind of droops down. And then if you start to like use the little lever right here, like it's really hard to do without, see, it just came out of his, like, it just came out of his arm because this thing is just so heavy. So it's neat, like what they did with it like that. But practically, this thing is just so bulky and heavy, and it just falls right out of the arm. This is not a good grip for the Zord, so it just doesn't work out that well. So that feature is kind of, you know, it's a nice little addition, like an extra feature, but it's not anything that special. So now let's get into the actual looks of it all, right? So I do think this thing looks pretty cool. I'm just kind of taking a look at the design up close. I like the gold. You have the little ninja star right there. The helmet looks pretty good. They're the face, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. That looks pretty good. There's not too much real paint on it, except for that part and a little bit of silver down here. The rest is all one solid green. So it would have been really cool if they added a lot more paint. But for what it is, it looks kind of interesting. I like the design. I like the articulation. Now, to give it this little armored mode, they decided to give it some armor. You take off the elephant. That's why they didn't permanently attach it there. And you have the little Ninja Power Star, right? So the side that has the little bit of green just goes down the bottom. And again, you just slide it on. Now in this case, you have this little piece, but once you just slide it on, you just kind of push and that flips over. And then same way, this just attaches on the back, and then this just clicks down, it doesn't attach on the front. And then you take your little elephant and attach it here. And here is where it actually has a decent grip. Here it doesn't fall off, so that's fine. It's on the actual body on mine that it falls off. So these little pieces kind of act as cannons, and you can actually rotate these all the way around. So whatever, you know, if you wanted them rotated this way, whatever you want, that's really cool. So this is what the armor looks like, and I dig it. I think it looks really cool. I don't know that we'll ever see this on the show because it's like armor for the Megazord, kind of. But for the toy, like, this is cool. I like the little bits of gold that they added on the sides there. Like, everything just kind of fits really well. And again, because you have some great articulation, right? So I can come up with some really cool action poses like that. Like, he's ready to fight. The cannons are turned sideways. Like, that's really cool. So I'm glad that we're able to do this, you know, like have this articulation on this type of Zord, I think is great. So that's basically what the armored figures are all about, right? So overall, I think these are great. I love the way that these look. I think it's really cool. I think the Ranger figures, in my opinion, are a must-buy. If you like that mode, if you think it looks cool, I think these are great figures. And I'm sure they'll probably release 5-inch figures of the Master Mode eventually, but I like being able to transform it easily. The Power Punch feature is really cool. Even without the armor, just stick a different weapon in there and use the Power Punch feature. That's awesome. Rumble Tusk Zord is not as cool because of the elephant head kind of falling off the body. It doesn't fit with the Megazord, that kind of thing. But for the most part, I still do like the articulation, and I like the armored mode as well. I think it looks really cool. So overall, I recommend all these figures. Just do not buy this as a substitute for the Rumble Tusk Megazord, but on its own, as its own thing, it's still really cool. So I dig it. I think this is great stuff, and I can't wait to buy the other armored figures when they release as well. So this is definitely some of my favorite Ninja Steel stuff so far. Definitely pretty cool. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and share the video as well. Thank you so much, and I will see you later. I really do have to say, I think these are some of my favorite parts of the toy line so far, these armored figures. I mean, the 5-inch figures are great, and I always love the 5-inch figures. I mean, they're always quality stuff. But like the Power Stars this year are just terrible. They're just not great quality. They don't do much. The Morpher is just kind of you know, it's not that great. You know, the Cycles are kind of neat, but like, I mean, the Ranger figures they come with kind of suck. Like, they're okay. The Megazords are cool, but I don't like the designs too much. These guys, though, so far I think they're some of the best Ninja Steel stuff. So I think between the Ranger figures, the 5-inch ones, and these guys, the actual figures so far, Bandai has been nailing. So I'm looking forward to at least that part of the Ninja Steel toy line. The rest of the toy line's kind of iffy, but this stuff so far has been pretty good. So if you want to see some more Ninja Steel reviews, please hit that subscribe button because I have lots more reviews on the way. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later.